Sup guys, this is Alex Chu coming at you with another episode. In this episode I want to talk about narcissist abuse. This one interesting video I watched on YouTube. This man, he said he's been abused by narcissists for years. The pain is still there and he's not in peace and stuff like that. But anyway, before I want to talk about that, I want to tell you my name is Alex Chu. I'm the guy who invented the immortality rings. These are the rings that you put on your small fingers during sleep. You wear them, you don't age anymore. You become physically immortal. On my website, which is livemuchlonger.com, okay, I show people lots of reviews from Amazon customers. 80% of them give me 4 stars or 5 stars for these rings. And it does make you feel so much healthier. It cures common flus and stuff like that, instantly. Anyway, the link is at the bottom of this video. It's livemuchlonger.com, if you want to stay physically young forever. Okay. There's this video of this man. Yeah, he's very interesting. Yeah, he's basically, he said he has been abused. I assume it's his siblings. His brother or sister abused him, and then they cut tie, and he said the pain is still there. Yeah, well, that's very similar to what happened to me, because I grew up in a narcissist family. My father's a narcissist, and then my brother, my sister, even my stepmother, they eventually became narcissists. Okay, what happened is, because my father is an asshole, he's a very selfish man. He's always talking shit about other people in front of his kids. In front of me, I was a little boy. He's talking shit about Uncle George, talking shit about Uncle Andy, talking shit about this, talking shit about that. So, imagine I was a little boy. I didn't know any better, right? I really thought these people are bad people. And then I grew up to, I became a narcissist, sort of. I started to think I'm all that, Yeah, our family is so cool. Other people, they're assholes. They're stupid people. They're bad people. But then, luckily I'm a smart guy. Luckily, eventually I start to distance myself from my father's philosophy. I start to realize, wait a minute, he's a businessman. He's a custom agent. He's basically he's like import exporter. He always go to different countries to go to harbor to check the merchandise. Check the cargoes. I'm not an expert on that shit. But he's like And he has lots of business partners. A lot of them. And then guess what? He always end up cutting tie with the business partner. And then he never blame anybody. He's always blaming everyone else. He never blame himself, you understand? He's like, every time he cut tie with somebody, he said, oh, that guy stole my money. Or that guy betrayed me. That guy broke his promise. But then I start to realize, wait a minute. I start to see the pattern, It's like you never had a steady partner. You always offend someone, So I became very, very careful. And then my uncle claimed that my father stole $2 million from him. My uncle became very wealthy because he used to work at a big, huge computer firm, right? That computer firm went public, and my uncle became an instant millionaire, lots of money, and then gave my father $2 million for investment, okay, not a gift, for investment. My father stole it, telling my uncle I lost everything in China, and then then later on we found out that he actually bought a property in China. And then God punished my dad, okay, within a year he died. Good, fucking asshole. I'm so glad my father's dead. He got a heart attack, just last year, It's like right after my uncle found out that he stole $2 million from him. Within a year, he died. His sorry-ass motherfucker died. Good, But anyway, my point is this, okay? My father was a narcissist. And then my brother turned out to be very, very similar to my father. My sister is also a narcissist. I mean, she dresses like a man. She's not a lesbian, but she dresses like a man. I think it's because she's been taught, ever since she's little, that everybody are stupid assholes. Only our family is so special. So you should not have any sympathy for anyone else. And my sister, it's, she couldn't, you understand, she cannot be a sweet little girl anymore. It's like, because, I guess her mind is just full of hatred, So it's like every time you speak to her, she would reply to you very sarcastically, only with sarcasm and insults. So you could imagine, I guess a lot of guys, when she dresses like a woman, and a lot of guys speak to her, and then she only reply back with sarcasm and insult, you could imagine. Guys would probably scratch their head. What's wrong with her? What's wrong with this girl? And they'd probably walk away. So I guess she started to dress like a man, just to give people heads up. Hey, I'm sort of a tomboy type of girl, So hey, be careful, Don't be surprised when you hear me speak, I don't think she's a lesbian, but I think that's her mentality, But anyway, my whole family is wiped out by my father. They all became narcissists. And then my brother had a child, just had a newborn son, right? And he started to use this child as a tool to tease me, That's what narcissists do. They like to tease other people. So he started to, at the banquet, he just had a new son, so he invited lots of people, right? And then I gave him $200 as gift, but he never passed the child to me for a hug, And then trouble started right there, and I started to realize, wait a minute, this guy he's not showing me any respect. I gave you $200, you don't even pass the child to me for a hug. And then later on, he started show me messages, like basically tell me that I'm not good enough to approach his kid. So I finally gave him a call, and we had a fight on the phone. Basically, he's saying that I said, you promised me that you will bring your child to me, not immediately, when your child's older, 4 or 5 year old, okay? When your child grew up a little and you feel safer, you bring him to my house for Christmas, Guess what? He turned it down. He said, no. He said, you're a drunken man, you're a lonely man, you're not good enough to come near my child. I'm like, okay, no problem. I cut tie with him immediately. At that very moment, I cut tie with him. I used to pay for his car insurance, stuff like that. I do him a lot of favors. No, I cut tie with him immediately. He also offended my uncle. My uncle also used that opportunity to cut tie with him immediately. And then I guess my sister abandoned me. My sister is also a narcissist. My brother and my sister, they are like this. So she abandoned me. I didn't do anything to my sister, though. In fact, my sister went to college, I supported her 4 years. Every month I gave her $300. I supported her 4 years of college. I didn't do anything to her. She abandoned me on the spot. When I cut tie with my own brother, she abandoned me. She also cut tie with me. I didn't do anything to her, And then I think there's a rumor in the family that there's some kind of incest going on between me and my sister or something. I think my brother's the one who spread that rumor. And it affected my stepmother. My stepmother started to, like, if we're sitting inside a car, she doesn't want me to sit beside my own sister. This is, anyway, that's what narcissists do. They separate people. You understand? They separate. They want everyone to love them. And they want all their subjects, the people who love them, to leave other people alone and just love me. Oh, yeah, love me. Just like Jesus, give everything away and follow me, like that, It's very, very unreasonable, very unrealistic, the way how they think. So I was watching this guy's video. He said, yeah, I hear him talk, and I'm like, wow, that's exactly what happened to me. I grew up in that kind of family, My father's a narcissist. He used to punch me and beat me, push my head through the door and stuff like that. And he's a terrible person. And I don't know if there's any physical abuse in his family, but he said he's a scapegoat kid, and then his brother or his sister is the golden kid. In narcissist family, he's right. It was like that in my family. It's like narcissists started when your own father or your own mother's a narcissist. Started talking shit. You could tell when he started talking shit about everybody else. Oh yeah, our family is special, but other people, they're stupid assholes. It's like that. And I watched that video, I'm thinking, oh yeah, and in his video, he was requesting more people to speak up. He wanted more people to speak out. And And he basically, I know he's in pain. You know, I know, no, a narcissist abuse is, yeah, you will be in pain. You will be constantly in pain. But let me tell you one thing though: if you suffer from narcissist abuse, especially sibling abuse, so I understand, because me and my sister we're never good. See, I don't really, we're not that good, because she's like a lot younger than me, you know. I mean, my father married so many times. My father married 4 times, and she's my half sister. She's the daughter of my 4th stepmother, you know. So she's like 15 years younger than me or something. She's a lot younger than me, and I left home when I was only 17. You understand? So I left home when she was only 2 years old. She and I we're not that good. We're not that good, you know. She and my little brother, they are better, you know. So and then you could imagine, grew up in that kind of family. She and my brother, they both turned out to be narcissists, you know. I'm sort of smart. I didn't fall for it. I used to be a little bit narcissist when I was 16, when I was living with my father. But once I got kicked out of the family, I started to wake up. I started to realize, wait a minute, you have all these business partners and you always cut tie with them. I had a lot of business partners too. I never cut tie with them. I have business partner, and I always keep very good relationship with my business partners. You know, I'm very, very unlike my own father. You know, so I got out of family. My sister and I were never good. We're not that good. You know, when she sees me in the restaurant, she doesn't even say hello. You know, every time I speak to her, she reply with insults and with sarcasm. You know, we're not that good. But hello, you know, I gave you money before. I supported her through college, right? Is it necessary to abandon me, you know, to officially cut tie with me? I didn't do anything to her. You understand? That kind of abuse, it does hurt. The reason is because, you know, I kind of wish that I never had this sister. See, if I don't have this sister, then hey, you know, then no problem, right? I don't have a sister, but then now I have the sister. We're not even that good from the beginning, you know. But then, is it necessary for you to abandon me? Is it necessary? It does hurt sometimes when you come to think of it, you know. So my suggestion to people who suffer from narcissist abuse, you have to remember the time has changed. You know, right now, most people are getting divorced. Most people end up getting divorced. You know, I would say 75% of the couples, they get divorced. You know, and kids are not being taught the way how they were taught back in the days. You know, they don't teach that shit anymore. They don't teach, you know, you have to go to church on Sunday. You have to learn how to love your sister. You have to learn how to love your own brother. We are a family. You know, we never betrayed family members. They don't teach that bullshit anymore. If you watch Disney Channel, you know, these movies or TV show about middle school kids or high school kids, you know, the bully, there's always some bully. And they're very mean. If you watch Disney Channel, the bully is all, like, back in the days, many years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, this bully, they're not even that mean. They have morale. They just have, like, but nowadays, you see the high school bullies, they are very, very mean. They're very cold, very mean. It's like, they appear on TV, it almost makes you feel like you killed their mother and father, and that's the reason why they stare at you like that. I used to love Disney movies and TVs, but nowadays I don't want to watch that anymore because it's sick. The way how they teach kids is sick. So you have to remember, nowadays they don't teach that bullshit anymore. They don't teach, oh, you got to go to school you got to go to church on Sunday. You got to love your father, love your mother, respect your relatives, and love your own brother and sister. They don't teach that bullshit anymore. You understand? Nowadays, it's like you do whatever the fuck you want. You want to become a narcissist? Good. You know, hate your own uncle, hate your own aunts. You know, disrespect your own brother. Teach your kids to disrespect your own brother. It's shit like that. You know. So nowadays, what I'm saying is this: time has changed. You're not alone anymore. You know, you're not strange anymore. See, if your mind is still stuck in the good old days, you know, the good old days that everybody is expected to go to church on Sunday. And then brother and sister, they're supposed to love each other, you know, and then where you're supposed to respect your uncle, respect your aunt, and shit like that. It's like a huge family, like a, you know, you see these huge Italian or Greek family, they love each other. It's not like that anymore. Time has changed. You're not alone. You're not an oddball. You're not strange. There's nothing strange about you. A lot of people suffer from that nowadays. A lot of people, they have asshole brothers and asshole sisters, you know, and it's you remember back in the days in the early 1900s, okay, like like even 1890 or 1910 or something. If you are born out of a wedlock, if you are illegitimate, you know, like you don't know who your father is, or your mother and father got into a divorce, you know, it psychologically hurt you. You understand? It's like if people knew that you are born out of a wedlock, you're illegitimate, or your father or your parents got a divorce, and you're now living with your own mother or only with your father. It psychologically hurts you, because you know why? Because it doesn't happen to other family. It only happened to my family, and it's like I'm in pain. But now, right? No, it's so, nowadays it's not odd anymore. It's a lot of people, they have single parents. A lot of people grew up in a single family home, you know? Lots of people are illegitimate, you know? Lots of people say stuff like, I don't know my own father, I don't know my own mother. So those kind of people, they are no longer in pain once they learned that, oh, there are so many people like me, you know? I'm not so strange anymore. I'm not so odd anymore, you know. And I want to tell you, if you suffer from narcissistic abuse, you're not that strange anymore. You're not alone anymore. Lots of people suffer from this kind of bullshit, you know. Nowadays, a lot of people, narcissists. There are lots of narcissists nowadays, you know. Lots of people, they're just unreasonable. They're just like, oh yeah, everybody's supposed to love me. Oh, you're supposed to leave everybody else, you know. Disrespect your own uncle, disrespect your own relatives, you know, dump your own sister, yeah, come to me. A lot of people are like that, you know. Those people at the end, you know, those people are stupid, unreasonable people. Those people at the end will fail. They will fail, you know. And when they fail, you just sit aside and laugh, you know. But I'm just telling you, if you are in pain, if you feel sorry for yourself, you don't have to feel sorry for yourself, because time has changed. You're not alone. A lot of people are like that nowadays, you know. The what you can do is this. For example, like my brother tells me that I'm not even good enough to approach his kid because I'm a lonely man, I'm a drunk. I cut tie with him immediately, you know. And then he emailed me to you know, salvage the relationship. I said, fuck you, no way. I cut tie with him immediately. I want to protect his son. I don't want him to tease me in front of his son, so he can successfully turn his own son into another narcissist. I don't want that to happen. So I cut tie with him, you know. My uncle also cut tie with him. And then right now, basically, we don't meet anymore. Thanksgiving, Christmas, nothing. We just basically don't speak. My own father's funeral, I don't even appear. I don't even want to see that motherfucker. I don't appear, you know. And my sister abandoned me. Cool, no problem. You know, who's afraid of who? I'm not afraid of nobody. Just cut tie with them. Cut tie with these people. You understand? You cut tie with them. Nowadays, it's very simple. See, my sister can cut tie with me, like clicking you know how on Facebook or even on eBay, you know, you could ban like other members. You can ban there's a buyer, you know, that you don't like, you could ban that buyer. Or there's on Facebook, or, you know, like there's a member that you don't like, you could just click the ban button. You can ban that. It's like that nowadays. You understand? Your own sister, your own brother, they can ban you at any moment. You're just like clicking a ban button on Facebook. You know, ban this motherfucker. They could do that to you. You understand? So my sister did that to me. You know, oh, I supported her 4 years of college. You know, all she do was click a button, ban my own brother. Ooh, she could do that, no problem. You know what? You do the same. You understand? I just do not feel sorry for yourself, because this shit happens all the time, especially nowadays. It happens all the time. Okay, and these narcissists, they think they're smart. You think you're smart? No problem. Well, wait and see. You know, when one day, like that person, you know, becomes 50 or 60 years old, and he finally realized, oh yeah, I'm sort of unreasonable. That's the reason why nobody wants to speak to me anymore. Then they will wake up. Then they will try to revert. They will try to say, oh, maybe the narcissist way is a bad way. It's too late. It's too late. They lost all their relatives. They lost all their friends. It's like that. The narcissists are like that. When they finally wake up, it's too late. They'll end up losing everything. And guess what? It's not your fault. And you don't even have to feel you don't have to feel sorry for these people. You don't have to try to salvage your relationship or email them or do none of that. Just let them suffer. Just let them die. Anyway, do not feel sorry for yourself. It happens all the time. There's a lot of these people. They have absolutely no morale. They can ban you like clicking a button. Like, oh, I'm just gonna ban my own brother, ban my own uncle, ban my own mother, like that. So you don't need to feel the pain, because time has changed. Just listen to me. Time has changed. Nobody expects you to be in church on Sunday anymore. So do not think that you're still living the good old days. You're not. Okay. Have a nice day.